Okay, how are we doing this? Go ahead.
Howdy, sir. Tennyson Tipton, Texas A&M University. So over the last year and a half, we heard that at first you were not supposed to wear a mask, then you were supposed to wear a mask. We heard that if you were at a barbecue, you were going to spread COVID to everybody, but if you were protesting in the BLM riots, everything was going to be fine. We heard on the news that there was nothing to the Hunter Biden story, but then the New York Post releases the story. It turns out it was right, and the media crushed it, made sure it didn't happen, or that it didn't spread. So how are we even supposed to trust these people? Do they deserve our trust? And is there anything that they could do in your opinion to get it back? Because I don't think there is.
Well, that's a great question, man. I mean, trust is earned, right? Trust is earned, and people can't force you to trust them. If somebody tells you 10 lies and a truth, or even 5 lies and 5 truths, then that person has lied to you multiple times. So I think if people in the media are interested in being honest, and that's what they do, then people will naturally regain trust in them. But if people continue to lie, then they can't be shocked if people eventually lose faith in them, because if you continue to trust someone who keeps lying to you, then that's your bad.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We'll come to this side.
All right, howdy, sir. Jack Parr from Mississippi State University. So my question was, reading your bio and just everything about you, you said you have a really impressive background. You were computer science at one of the best universities in the world. What made you, kind of ditch that career path to go into, being a thought leader and a rapper and, just spreading the message?
Would you rather be a rapper or a computer scientist?
I'm an aerospace engineer, so that's kind of a bad question.
That's dope, man. That's dope. It was honestly, firstly, I think going to university and higher education is about opening doors, not closing them, right? So a lot of people are like, how can you go to Oxford and then become a rapper? And it's like, why not, right? So that's the first thing. And then simply, I love what I do. I enjoy it. And I like being able to have an influence and an impact on the world in a way that I wouldn't have been able to if I did something less public facing. I wouldn't be standing here today, and none of you would know who I am.
All right, thank you.
That's it. Thank you. Over on this side.
Yes, hey there. So glad to have you here with us. For my question, I wanted to mention that I wrote a letter to Dr. Fauci about promoting corporations, promoting these vaccines or whatever they think is best for their health, these radical medicines, pharmaceuticals, everything. But as you promote as well, very highly general health, nutrition, exercise, taking mental breaks, all of these things are so important. And in this letter that I wrote to Dr. Fauci, I promoted those as well. I said, instead, corporations should be taken out of those, and that they should just be promoting general health for the average American for longevity. And I found it really hard to make a general argument in a gray area where should corporations be even involved in the general health of average Americans? Should they be? And I just want to know your thoughts on that.
That's a good question. I think this is something that I said last year. It went kind of viral, which is that I think we as a society need to rethink what we consider healthcare. Because what we call healthcare is largely sick care. Mm-hmm. By the time you're seeing a doctor and you're in the hospital, something has usually already gone wrong. The majority of healthcare is down to each of us individually. It's why I'm so big on fitness. It's about personal responsibility. The foods you eat, your lifestyle habits, how much you exercise, how people treat, drink, alcohol, drugs, all that stuff. That's on you. Nobody can eat for you, nobody can drink for you, etc. So I think that should be the first course. So should companies have a role in it? Yeah, I think pharmaceutical companies have their role to play. Medical companies have their role to play, because of course if you break a leg or you get some illness or something like that, no amount of good food and deadlifts is going to fix that for you. But in terms of your general health, just like it's important to not outsource your thinking, it's extremely important to not outsource your general health to any corporation or any government, anything like that. And I think that people have, also not to other people. Something strange that's happened again is people now have this concept that everybody else is responsible for their health, which is not the case, right? That's never been the case before, and it's been somewhat inverted. And I think people should fight against that. You know, individual health is up to you. Of course, we all have an individual responsibility and duty to not intentionally harm other people, and we all understand that. But beyond that, it really comes down to you for the most part.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Over on this side.
Hi, Zuby. My name is Grant Gammon. I'm from Union University in Jackson, Tennessee. My question for you is there any hope that Europe and or the UK will embrace American conservatism? And in that same vein, there are a lot of international students that attend our universities. So should we as Yaffers be pursuing them to take American conservatism, those ideas home with them?
That's a really interesting question. I mean, what's considered conservatism in the US is actually quite different to what it's considered in the UK and in Europe. There are some overlap, but there's some difference. I think, you know, this is why conversations and discussions are so important, because ultimately we're all just trying to get to the best ideas for individuals and for societies and for countries, right? We're at a conservative conference right now, but people on the other side of the political spectrum are also trying to do the same thing, and that's why it's so important to have conversations both amongst people here and people on your side of the aisle and across it as well, because ultimately we're all trying to create a better society. So I think certainly have those conversations. I don't know if there needs to be a sort of particular effort to sort of push people into these ideas, but I think that great ideas stand on their own value. If you have great ideas, you know, it's never the people who have great ideas that are trying to censor other ones, because great ideas can stand up to scrutiny.
Thank you.
You're welcome.